Tonight's first opponent, the Mobridge Tigers, for the 2015 season. We're happy to have Coach Dan Aaker, head coach of the Winter Warriors, going on 15th season here?
14th.
14th season. Time flies. Coach, 2015 season preparation. I know it's kind of a year-round thing, really, but three things that I wanted to ask you about quickly. Off-season camps, the acceleration program, and then how fall camp went for the Warriors.
Yeah, from our own camp standpoint, we had one early more for skill players and probably freshmen, just to get some terminology, and that kind of leads into our passing league that we do every Wednesdays throughout the summer. And we had pretty good attendance, and kind of knew our numbers were going to be pretty good then. And then I thought we had a really good fall camp where we treat that kind of like a practice. We just kind of focus on ourselves and try to get some of that base stuff in. Acceleration camp, we had good numbers too, but quite honestly, it's hard for me to rank years on how we do because we really set the bar pretty high over the past, probably 10 years of, how many we expect to be there and how hard they work. So I'd say we had a good year, above average year. I don't know if I could say it was the best year in the summer, but it was a good year. And then we kind of touched on fall camp a little bit already. But knew going in there, fall camp, their numbers are going to be strong, and that's always nice to see.
They had a group of guys go to Northern for team camp this year as well?
Well, it was an individual camp, but we had quite a few went up there. And then I know we had a couple that went over to a camp in Sioux Falls, and might even had a couple go down to Nebraska too. So, but Northern, there was a pretty big contingent up there. We probably could have called it a team camp as many as that went up there, but that's good. I encourage them at least to go to one because you're going to be able to pick up maybe some skills and stuff that the fundamentals that we don't necessarily do, but they can help you. But probably more importantly, during the summer and early summer, it just gets you excited about football. So.
Sure. Changes in the 11B format this year, Coach. I know what I would consider to be four of the top 11B teams are now either 9AA or 11A. The class looks a lot different than it did last year. And then the changes in our schedule and how that affects the conference, please.
Yeah, and the overall 11B, in my opinion, took a hit just because I agree with you. And you lose the Bonhams and St. Thomas More's, Cantons. Who was the fourth one you had there?
Christian.
Yeah, Christian. That's right. They were going to be pretty salty this year too. So that's a pretty big hit. And then some teams went up. Siston's always kind of a wild card. They've had some good teams and been up and down. So them moving up. Bridgewater, Emory, Ethan, or I should say, Siston moving down, Bridgewater, Ethan moving up. Really traditionally a good 9-man team. So I think those teams help a little bit. But if you look at the balance between what was lost and what was gained, 11B I think probably took a step down. Schedule-wise, probably similar to what we're talking about the overall class. We lose Bonham and St. Thomas More, two of our really good rivals and competitive teams, competitive games year in, year out. And Crow Creek as well. That was our third team we lost. And replaced them with Shenango Butte, Redfield Dolan, and Jones County White River. So I've been pretty upfront. Our schedule is not the strongest, but that's out of our hands too. So we just need to focus on trying to get better each week and prepare for our opponent. After looking at our overall schedule, I think we definitely would have a star by Parkston. For a couple reasons. One, they beat us in the regular season last year, and then they're also returning state champs. So they're going to be a pretty good team. As far as the conference is concerned, we still have the conference, but it's only a 3-team conference now with Parkston, Wagner, and us. So we're not playing for a team conference championship, but I think we're still going to give out an all-conference team there. So we're kind of almost back to independent status. Hopefully we get some teams to join the SCSD. We've talked about kicking around the Big Dakota coming back. I don't know if that'd be a move we do, but we're stuck with that schedule for 2 years, and we're just, it is what it is, and we're going to worry about the Winter Warriors.
Tonight's opponent, Mobridge. Coach, I know they have a new head coach up there. They graduated a lot of talent from last year's team. I know they returned a couple pretty decent linemen. There's a couple wide receivers that had nice games against us that'll be back. So how do you try to scout a new coach and on that first game of the season?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's hard first game of the year anyway because you never know what teams may change. But when you have a new coach, new staff, or possibly a new team, it makes it pretty hard. But it's good and bad. I think that it never hurts for a team to really have to prepare for possibly anything, and that's really what kind of forced our hand. We, obviously you can see what they had from some players last year that are back, and their head coach was actually an assistant back when they were pretty darn good in 09 and 10, made the state championship game, and kind of looked at some of that stuff. Maybe that's something they might do, but we don't know. So really defensively is probably the hardest preparation, just because you don't know what alignments you're going to have to be in, what coverage we're going to think we're going to be in a lot. So we've been throwing as much stuff as we can. The nice thing is we accumulate something. Being here 14 years, we got a lot of prep sheets that are out there. So we just hopefully, I think the key for us defensively, no matter what they come in with, that we realize what formation they're in, we're aligned right, and then after that, it's really just playing football. So offensively wise, we see changes every week. We're just showing them different fronts, but really that kind of becomes an in-game adjustments, probably from my end the most of how we're going to block things. So make them think a little bit more. It's been a really more of a thinking week for us, and I thought I've been impressed with what they've did so far with us not really talking a lot about things, just throwing it at them. So
good. 2015 captains, Coach. I know small senior group, but who will be the captains for this year's football team?
Yeah, and this is new for me. I told the entire team going in at the end of last year that it's just because you're a senior, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be a captain, or it's going to be all seniors, and told all the juniors that too. And they knew up front that was going to be kind of a position that could be earned by juniors, and we actually have 3 of them as captains. But Riley Frazier is a senior, as a captain. Drew Demers is a junior, as a captain. Crocker Krolakowski is a junior, as a captain, and Isaac Nas, a junior, as a captain. And that really wasn't that easy decision, looking at who I thought would fit best in there. But those are the 4 that I felt did the best job throughout the end of last year to this year, as far as showing the best leadership.
Yeah, I think that is a good group of leaders for your team. And then one final question. I know you got a little bit of international flavor on the team this year. I believe for the first time since I was a senior in high school, we have a foreign exchange student on the football team. And for the first time since the Garrett Groneland era of 2012, we have a exclusive kicking specialist. Is that correct?
Yeah, Jonas Brill. He's a foreign exchange student that he's with the Demers, Drew's parents, John and Sandy. And I kind of got wind of that this summer, and John had mentioned that he's from Germany and plays soccer. So you're thinking, he might have a kicker. Pretty accurate. I think the extra point field goals will be something that we'll definitely be doing, and as well that's really hasn't been in my mindset most of the time. I don't know if we've hardly kicked any extra points since Garrett. And then field goals is a completely different thought process for me. I never even think about it, even if I'm on the 5. So I've told my assistants that they definitely got to be in my ear, because once we hit that 30 to 25 yard line, that's going to be an option. He's showing really good accuracy and kicks the ball nice and high off the tee for kickoff. Not extremely deep, but as deep as anybody we've had for a while, but at least get some hang time for cover. So yeah, it's a nice little change, and it's good for a lot of things. Obviously those kids choose to come to learn different cultures and what have you, but it's good for the interaction for our guys with him, and they've accepted him really well, and I think he's enjoying being a winner right now. And football is a different thing. I think for him, he was pretty bright-eyed the first few practices, but I think he's getting kind of used to how things work, so it's nice to have him.
Awesome. Good luck tonight. Good luck this season, and look forward to talking to you at least another 11 weeks.
All right, that sounds great. Thanks, Bob.